Okay, hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Marcilla. You guys can call me She. And welcome to Scary Little Thing. I know I haven't done podcasts for quite a while, due to my commitments. So, but tonight we'll make one out of my good friend's request. So, before we begin tonight's episode, which is I'm not going to make it too long. So I would like to read the text that she sent to me yesterday night. Hey Sheila, I know this is kind of sudden, but I wanted to ask you something kind of weird. Lately, I've been feeling like there's something around me, something I can't explain. Sometimes it's just a feeling, like something heavy making my body feel ill for a second, then normal again. So my parents say that it's nothing, just my feelings, but now I start to see the shadows in my room. I don't know if it's something paranormal or just my own fears coming from my head. So how do you stay brave in moments like this? And do you think these things could actually mean something, like a reflection of what we're going through inside us? Okay. Well, actually, I love this message though, because it's kind of transparent, very honest. It's actually kind of real. So it gives that vibe of, between logic and also fear. So, first of all, I would like to say thank you for trusting me enough to actually make a podcast out of this. I know it's quite personal and it's actually quite a vulnerable thing to open about, but you know, and I give credit to you and I salute you. You're actually brave enough to be honest about it, to acknowledge it. It actually alters with the comprehensible reality that you've always, known your whole life. You don't know whether anything is real or not. You dah tak boleh nak. You cannot just simply determine things as how it is anymore. So you start to wonder whether you're imagining it, and it will decline into something even worse, like why am I the only one who's experiencing this? Why cannot anyone else feel the same way or experience the same thing to validate how I feel? Okay, it starts to get very lonely. But here's the thing though, it is not just in your head, and even if it is, that feeling is real. I mean, how you feel, your body reacted to it, and your mind also reacted to it. It is something that probably trying to reach out to you and ask for attention. I'm not going to say that in a bad way. I mean, it probably is something that should have your attention in the first place. So, it is something that you've been suppressing your whole life, for a long time. I will begin this by we'll go through with two perspectives here, two sides. One is paranormal, and one is from a psychological view, so that we can actually make sense out of both, and then through the perspectives of religious faith and also self-awareness. We do know that in every religion here, we do believe of the unseen world, which is alam ghaib lah. I mean, in your case here, you're a Muslim, so I'm going to give you in a Muslim context here, okay? So we do know that alam ghaib does exist. It's already written in the scriptures, in the Quran. So these are the things that we cannot see, like jinns, angels, energies, and everything just move around us. Whenever we feel something, being extra sensitive about it, which is it can be related to the condition of us, within us, you that it will heighten that sensitivity, and then you will start to feel that heaviness, that uneasiness. Even we can detect that our environment just feels off. So that also can be an indication that there's a spiritual imbalance happening around you. It is not always about pure possession or haunting. Sometimes it is about you experiencing spiritual exhaustion. Okay, you. So I will give you an example here. it is advisable when you want to have protection for yourself, right? So you have to fill yourself with Quran verses here. You know, it is advisable for you to actually recite Ayatul Kursi and then Surah Al-Falaq, Surah Al-Ikhlas, and Surah An-Nas, which are the basics that you as a Muslim know. So you can actually practice that, make that as a routine anytime, whenever you feel that there's something going on, something wrong, or you know, even when you are doing work, you know, even when you don't feel anything, make it as a routine. Let it grow in you, because it will automatically be a protection for you. And also make it as a peninding, as a barrier in your own home. You know, it's not wrong for you to actually also turn it on from your speaker, from the television, you know, and then you also, whenever you pray, you keep on reading the same thing, so that there will be that energy, that positive energy inside your house. You need to do this with pure faith for your God. These entities here, these things here, they are also attracted to your energy, to your light. Okay, you yourself spiritually. So it can be connected here, as what I've mentioned before. How you are, your energy, your spiritual condition actually can trigger some sensitivities, right? It can also trigger sensitivity on these entities also. You know, they can sense your light, your energy dimming here, because out of stress, out of exhaustion, because you have some things inside you struggling and everything. So it actually dampens your spiritual light. They could be attracted to that because you're being vulnerable. Okay, and I am telling you this because back then, the ustaz who treated me actually told me that I'm not practicing what as a Muslim should practice. So basically, it dampens my soul, my spirit, and those things just like me being vulnerable. So I'm attracted them with that, with my condition being like that. You have to know how to actually protect that light and energy, so it won't be dimmed, you know, it won't be dampened, so that you can actually avoid attracting all this stuff. But most of all is you being spiritually disconnected, you know, like what I've done before. You know, I forgot everything, you know, semua duniawi. Everything is all about this, about that, about this, but nothing about my spiritual condition. And that when you're being fragile, when you're being vulnerable, when you're being down, that negativity will grow stronger and stronger, okay, each more. So what I can ask you is to cleanse it. You know, you pray, and then you remember God, and then you keep on doing that routine over and over, even when you feel there's nothing wrong. Just keep on doing it. InsyaAllah, daripada benda tu datang, daripada benda tu ada, benda tu jadi tak ada. Macam itulah. But I will tell you, if it prolongs, and don't wait too long, but if you know that it's just because you know how your own feeling feel, you know, you know your own feelings, you know, you know your own intuition. Okay, you know that this is going to be quite dangerous here. It's quite of a threat rather than just a mere shadow or sounds or what. Then you need to seek professional help and expert. Okay, ustaz, imam. Don't ever feel that it's a weakness for you to ask for help. All right, no, because you are brave enough to actually acknowledge that thing. You don't go halfway. Be brave enough to take action. All right, because in certain unfortunate cases, when they just simply let it go, that thing lagi suka. Okay, they will like it even more. All right, because they see that you're just letting it. You know, you're not doing any initiative or whatever, right? Even when you take initiative also by reciting verses, also, you know, they try to get to you still, you need to ask for help. Okay, that will be a serious consequences there. All right. So we're going to go to the psychological view. We can know that fear and stress, okay, can play such an important role in your mind, right? So when your body is under tension, and you know, we start to feel anxious, we start to feel to easily panic. We start to feel very agitated. So there's a certain parts of your brain that actually can detect threats, you know. So that part of your brain will go active, and it will trigger more sensitivity and will be more hyper. So it starts to scan for danger even though it's not there. That also can trigger your body to actually feel the sensations of heaviness. To your heart starts to beat rapidly, you know, and you can even see some shadow movements around you, which is, it actually came from your brain trying to filling up some visual gaps. You know, it's a manifestation of your own condition here. Your mind and your body that are actually kind of exhausted at some point, they are trying to communicate with each other, okay, trying to tell you that something is off balance, something is not right, something is just not cut out here. About yourself, okay, they're trying to tell you that probably you're tired without you knowing it, without you realizing it, and then you are probably emotionally overwhelmed. You know, you try to dismiss things a lot. You know, you try to, you know, it's fine, but actually it's not fine for you. You know, it hurts you a lot. You know, you're penting up all the pain and anger and everything because, you know, you are trying to bottle everything up. And also it could be from your past traumatic experiences, you know, that you try to suppress, all the memories that you don't want to remember. So then you never address it and you never acknowledge it. You need to know that this came from unprocessed emotions that you really need to start processing, in my opinion here, okay? Because I mean, I'm trying to relate to you now, because for me, back then when I do feel like, you know, it's there are certain times that I broke down. When I broke down, I start to see things. So when I start to see things, I don't know whether that thing is real or not. Because by the end of the day, it is me that I need to control myself. So for me to control myself, also I need to start reflect myself. That's the first thing that you need to do. So reflect is when you ask yourself, what is it that you truly feel? You know, when was the last time that you feel safe? When you pent up all the feelings, you start to ask, did I dismiss it? All these feelings here that, you know, I don't want to acknowledge just because I want to appear normal. You know, I want to appear like a strong person. So from there, you need to start acknowledging that you've been trying to reject all these years, you know, so you can just bring it out, lay it down, and then embrace it as part of the journey in your life. You know, it is something that actually shows you're human. So being sensitive here does not mean that you're weak. It means that you are very aware and very empathic. For me, first, when you do that self-reflect, you take a deep breath first. You recite any affirmations that you can think of. This one, I feel actually like this. This one, actually, I feel like this. You know, you don't see yourself as someone weak when you um, try to validate your own feelings. Always remind yourself that I am safe. I am brave here because whether it is ghosts or not, I choose to stay. All right, this is my space. This is where I belong, and what I feel is truly real. So I just want to know that I myself have the capability to acknowledge that, and by the end of the day, after all this self-reflection, I can regulate myself. I can actually make myself feel whole, fill in the gaps by knowing that I do have gaps. What is it that I need to do to actually fill in those gaps? Others around you can see that it's actually nothing because, you know, probably they're also having their own difficulties in processing their own inner struggles. So in this case, only you know yourself. When you know yourself best, then you yourself know what is the best next step that you can take to solve all this. Okay, whether that thing came from you psychologically, Okay, when you want to try both, all right, you don't know whether that thing came from you psychologically or it's literally memang a ghost, right? So here's the thing that I've done before. I evaluate myself first. Okay, I'm the type who likes to rationalize first before I get freaked out. Okay, I think you guys know when you watch my previous videos, all those ghost stories. And so actually, I would try to rationalize myself. I will self-regulate, self-assess myself. Am I exhausted? Am I tired? Am I breaking down? Am I panting up? Okay, yes, probably yes. That day, something just fudged up, and then I'm just trying to keep it quiet because I feel like there's no point of me saying. But I wanted to say something. It's a pent up thing. So I was trying to acknowledge that, and I was trying to recognize it. You let it out to yourself. Please try to know that that is not a sense of weakness. That is a sense of you trying to be a human being with normal feelings. I start to know that, okay, now I have control what I need to do. Okay, I feel this way. What am I supposed to do? I start to feel like calm. I start to feel like I have the capability to actually overcome it. When I already control myself, when I know that thing is not there, then it's just me. All right. But when I do that and still that thing is there, you can suddenly hear its voice, you can smell something and everything. Ah, then you know that it's not you, it's just there's something there. You can actually do both there. First things first is you need to have some sense of control with yourself. If you don't have any of that, okay, suddenly there's a ghost there, and then you don't have any self-regulation, you cannot control yourself. You don't address anything. Your mind, your spirit is already all dampened down, dim out. How can you actually control the situation and know what you need to do next to handle that thing? So over the years, probably because of that self-regulating, self-assessment, that I'm not gonna say I'm beginning to not see ghosts, but it's getting lesser and lesser over the years. And the worst thing that you could do is to not do anything about this. Okay? Because right now, I'm not gonna say that you are weak, but I am gonna say that you need to be aware of how to handle it by handling yourself first. So whether that thing came to you because of your vulnerability or your vulnerability actually manifested that thing. We were taught to actually seek both spiritual and practical solutions, which is you need to pray and you also need to rest, you need to take care of yourself even better. Add on also you need to seek help from the experts. So for me here, when you ask me what bravery means, for me to get through all these kind of things, for me, bravery doesn't mean that you're not being scared. It means that you do feel fear, but you still choose to stay, knowing that you have the knowledge and also capability of calming yourself after all that. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but the least that you could do is to try rather than you not do anything. I think that would be all. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm not being so helpful, but I do understand. I do understand for with that kind of feeling, seriously. So you're not alone. So if anyone else, you have these kind of feelings, find someone that you can trust to actually help you, assist you, or probably guide you to actually acknowledge it. And also anyone who knows someone around them, family, friends, who actually experience the same thing like this, please do help them. If you have better ways, I'm just giving you suggestion and opinion here. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert or a palatao, know it all. But if you know a better way how to handle this, and in a right way, okay, please do so. You guys, please have a good night. Have a good week. I know that it's going to be a long journey here and there, but always make better choices along the way. Okay, I know I'm trying. I'm still trying. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.